Hello, my name is Adam Michael Anthony Simpson, and you're watching my YouTube channel, Adam M.A. Simpson. In this episode, I'll be interviewing Matthew Clarke, a PhD candidate in Stanford's Aeronautics and Astronautics department. Matthew's story is one of an Afro-Caribbean student from Barbados pursuing his dreams to study aerotechnologies, despite hurdles he had to face to get these opportunities in the first place and then thrive. Matthew is another mentor and friend here at Stanford, and I hope that this story helps to inspire young academics to stay persistent, as through Matthew's story you see that being persistent produces fruitful outcomes. Stay tuned. So, Matthew Clarke,
Sir,
what led you to graduate school and try to be as biographical as you can be from undergrad, high school, where you come from, but answer that question broadly. What led you to graduate school?
I think what led me to graduate school was a mixture of, I think it takes a certain type of person to do graduate school. Someone who's always yearning for more and not settling on what they've been given in the educational setting. Who's someone who wants to know why things are as opposed to how things are. And as a kid, I used to question a lot of things, especially back home in aerospace in the Caribbean. We had a plane that used to fly to Barbados every week called Concorde. And it was the only supersonic plane in the world, and Barbados was the only country that had Concorde flown into, and that's because Barbados was the representative for the Commonwealth.
Wow. So,
as a kid, I would see the Concorde fly in and out, and I would ask questions on why is this plane different from other planes? How is it built? This manifested into a yearning and a passion for aerospace. And I went to school in Washington, D.C. called Clarke University. And I went there. However, there was no aerospace. And there, once again, I was faced with another hurdle. Okay, do I settle for what I've been given, or do I try to make the most of it and continue to pursue and press? Like I say, it comes back to the type of individual you are, your personality. And that's what I did. I started to get involved in things related to aerospace. Since we didn't have an aerospace degree, I read papers and asked professors questions about how I can start to do research on this topic that I'm very passionate about. And as a result, I started to do a lot of work in fluids labs and labs that have parallel research to aerospace. And that's what really ignited my belief in I could do aerospace. Now, my belief that I could do graduate school is a whole other story.
Oh, what's that story?
In undergrad, I applied for a program called MSRP. And it's
what does that stand for?
MIT Summer Research Program.
Okay, awesome. MIT.
I applied there the first year, and I did not get it. And I was kind of down, and I was upset and disappointed. But I applied again, and I was the first lesson in grad school. You're gonna have several failures in grad school, including applying to graduate school.
Exactly.
And that's okay. Not every school is for you, and you're not for every school.
And undergraduate research experiences, summer experiences, those are very difficult to get.
They were very difficult to get in. So the second time I was lucky to get in. I went there and I absolutely struggled. Because I didn't come from a very large school that was very research based. So getting familiar with the research processes, how do you conduct research, how do you ask questions, imposter syndrome, I can give you 1,000 things that just didn't really go well in my first few weeks of the summer research program. But like most students who do like graduate school, you meet people along the way who influence you and have a very big impact on you. One of them, who I should not mention, but he's Caribbean, from St. Lucia. He was a graduate student at in MIT in biology.
Wow.
And I met him at MSRP, and we had a long conversation about graduate school and being of Caribbean origin and Caribbean descent, coming to these large institutions where things are completely different. And I think it was he who gave me the courage and the belief that I could do graduate school and I could excel in graduate school and have the confidence not only to do well, but to pick up myself up when things are rough. And he was one of the first people who helped me to write my essay, my graduate essay. I looked over a lot of my application material, and through his guidance and others, including my mentors at Howard, I was able to apply for graduate school. So that was my, coming of age and wisdom.
Can I ask a question about the mentor at MIT? How many persons of African descent was? I'm assuming that this a person of African descent.
Yeah.
How many were in his program?
Particularly in his program, I am not sure. I do know that the MIT STEM Research Program is geared towards students of underrepresented backgrounds.
That's great.
So I was able to actually, one of the things that influenced my decision to pursue graduate school and belief was to see other students like me who also didn't believe that they could do graduate school. And it was a collective, I guess, kumbaya moment that we had, that all of us decided to, this is something that we can do. And they're up to today, 5 years later, I'm still friends with some of them. Some of them go to school here. Some of them are at MIT, Georgia Tech, Michigan, University of San Diego. They're all over.
Great institutions.
Yeah.
So the reason I asked is because it's very common for underrepresented students to be burdened with that that outreach, which is great for developing soft skills and career development. I think just being a more rounded student, but in some cases we see where students are doing or have these positions of power in other students' lives that really should be at least recognized or pursued by the institution or professors.
Yeah, professors, professionals who...
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's just another thing that is common that we spoke about.
That we both do.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yes.
But I mean, nevertheless, I will continue to do outreach, and I enjoy it. And I'm happy when students reach out to me. But yeah, just a side note. So, being here at Stanford, you're a DARE fellow. You want to get into what DARE is and like how it is advancing your knowledge of academia and potentially being a professor.
Yeah. So DARE stands for DARE. Diversifying Academia and RE. But essentially the program for graduate students in their latter years of their PhD who realize that they have a passion for teaching and research. I want to pursue that at a very serious level. And not only at teaching doing research at R1 institutions, but liberal arts colleges, community college, the whole scope. HBCUs, Howard shout out, any school. But DARE is unique because you really don't know what it takes to be a faculty until you actually get into the thick of things in terms of applying for faculty positions or doing faculty physics, looking at faculty essays and the teaching material. What DARE does that is that it brings that stuff to you
before you get
into it,
so you know what you're getting involved in.
Exactly. So yes, most students do have a passion for teaching, but teaching and conveying material to all students in all walks of life, students who are at the top of the class as well as students who struggle, that takes practice. It takes time. I didn't even know. And resilience. Preparing teaching material. You know, I really, in that program, I was able to understand what it takes to prepare material to teach. And the rule is 1 hour for teaching equals to 8 hours for preparation.
Yeah.
So when you look at your professors now, they work hard.
Yes.
They work really hard to create classes.
Exactly. Yes. I had that realization and had to send a couple of emails to professors like, wow, realizing how much
work they actually do. They should be paid more.
They should be. Professors are underpaid for what they actually do. You just finished watching part 1 of my interview with Matthew Clarke, a PhD candidate in the Aeronautics and Astronautics department at Stanford. Stay tuned for part 2. Please like this episode and subscribe to my channel.